Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cloud Conversations. I am Peter Rising. I'm delighted to be back with my very, very good friend, Kat Beedham, freshly back from Las Vegas. Congratulations on your wedding, your marriage to your now husband, Craig. It's great to see you, Kat. How have you been? Did you have a wonderful time?
Oh my goodness. I had the best week of my life. It was amazing. It was so good. It was such a weird experience getting married in Vegas because we got to a stage where we were walking through. We had our gear on, and I didn't realize this, but you know the hats that women wear, like the mums and stuff wear to weddings. That's
Yeah.
a British thing. So
All
the
right.
hairdresser was American, and she was like, "Yeah, you will be able to tell you're from the UK if you wear all those hats. We don't do that in America." I
Mm.
was like, "Oh wow!" So we were walking through. My mum's was there, Craig's mum was there, and they were dressed up and wearing the hats and stuff. And I was in my dress, and I had my marriage license, and we were walking through the casino, through the hotel to get married. And there's like a video of us just walking as if that's the aisle. I was like, I was walking through. I was like, this is crazy. What on earth am I doing? And then we got in a limo and went to the chapel.
Uh-huh.
And oh my goodness, all I did was cry the whole day.
Oh,
Happy tears. But
yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna have really nice wedding photos. And yeah, I just have ugly cry face in every photo. I'm like, so much so the guy had to give me a tissue. I was holding a tissue for the whole ceremony. But it was so much fun. And Craig got heckled at the wedding.
Really?
So um the place where the chapels are is not that nice, but we
Mm-hmm.
didn't walk around. We got the limo straight there, and the chapel
Mm.
was gorgeous. It was really nice. But we were outside the chapel taking photos because they have like a little garden and stuff. You can take some pictures. And I was taking pictures of all the mums and everything. And Craig was a bit bored, so he was just stood at the side, like just looking around. And there was this homeless man with a trolley. Like, you couldn't think it's such a stereotypical homeless cartoon
Yeah.
guy. And he was walking past, and he was like, "Hey man, you better pay attention to that wedding. That's important." And like screaming at Craig. And Craig was like, "It's my wedding." So he came back in. It's like, that's hilarious. So it was interesting, but no, it was absolutely amazing. Yeah, happy-ish to be back. Vegas was pretty awesome, to be fair. So
Mm.
I was a bit depressed,
Yeah.
but
Oh, Vegas. Yeah, I've never been. I've been to the States a few times, long, long time ago now, but I've never been to Vegas. Is it
oh
everything you imagine? Is it same,
yeah.
different? What did it meet your
Well,
expectations?
I'd gone before for Inspire, but I
Mm.
didn't really look around or see anything because you're in a conference the whole day and you're doing
Yeah.
stuff, and you're in work mode as well. So you're
Mm.
trying to network with so many people. So I didn't feel like I saw Vegas and could enjoy it. And then when we went back, oh my goodness, it was everything. We went to loads of really nice restaurants like Hell's Kitchen, and
Yeah.
we're staying in the Bellagio's with the fountains. And so me and Craig don't really drink,
Mm.
so we didn't really drink on the holiday, but there was so much to do without drinking. So we were up and just seeing everything, and oh my goodness, I was zip lining. My
Oh,
goodness, that
wow.
was hot. That was pretty scary. But it was amazing. I couldn't recommend it more, Pete. Honestly, it's
Oh.
so fun. We really want to go back. We want to go back and maybe do vows and do maybe in 5 or 10 years and
Mm.
renew vows, and yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
it was
you got to
so
go
good.
back. These places become special to you, don't they? It's like Notre Dame is where I proposed to Louise on a little bench just opposite Notre Dame Cathedral, and it was
So
just a
romantic.
lovely experience. And when I'd finished proposing, didn't no idea people were watching, and we got applauded from people on the bridge. It was lovely. But,
Oh,
but I always want to go back there. It's been well, I've not been back since 2004, but these places do
2004.
stay with you, don't they? And yeah, you've got to
Yeah.
go back and enjoy it again. But I have to thank you because you took a bit of time out of your wedding holiday to send me a lovely birthday message from Vegas. I really appreciated that and really enjoyed seeing it for my 50th birthday. And thank you to everyone actually who also sent me birthday video messages on Twitter as well. That was a really nice gesture. So thank you for that. Sending some messages to the old man.
I feel like mine wasn't as good as because you organized like a video that was like 5 minutes long, and I had so many people from the community saying congratulations, and I was watching it and I was crying. I was like, oh my god, this is the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me. And then I
Oh,
posted it on LinkedIn, and my mum said that my mum's a crier. That's where I get it from. And my
yeah.
mum said she was watching the video. She was like, Kathleen, I was crying. I couldn't believe how much support you had. It was so nice. It went through the family. Everybody saw it and was like, oh, that's so nice. And my boss was like,
Oh,
wow, that's really incredible. So yeah, that's the nicest thing I think it was ever done. So
oh, that's lovely.
yeah, tears to my
Well,
eyes. It was really, really nice. So thank
I
you.
wanted you to know how loved you are in this community, how important you are to all of us, and there was no hesitation from anyone to record a message for you. If anything, there were people who were sorry that they missed the chance to do so, and I'm sure they've reached out privately, some of
Because
those
some
people
people have
now.
messaged, yeah, they've
Yeah,
messaged me. That's so nice.
yeah.
But
So,
oh,
and I had so much fun putting that together. Actually, I think I really enjoyed it and putting that lovely Vivaldi music over it, and I had fun doing it, and I'm really glad you loved it. Thank you.
yeah, definitely did. My goodness. Did you get married in the UK?
I did get married in the UK
Did you
just
have like
about
a big
five.
wedding?
Had a very big wedding, yeah. Well, it felt big at the time. I mean, I've always considered myself to have a small family and Louise to have a big family. And Louise always told me, no, my family's not that big. Yours is just really small. Um,
Mm,
but we had about, I don't know, maybe it's 100, 150 people at our nighttime do.
Jesus.
And we got married in July 2005. July 16th, just down about 5 minutes down the road from where I live now, a lovely little hotel
Oh.
called Hardwick Hall. Beautiful, beautiful hotel. And it was the perfect day. It was the perfect weather. It was very much like the sort of heat wave weather that we've been getting in Britain lately. It was just so scorching hot. It was perfect. It couldn't have wished for
Mm.
better weather. Because we had friends who were getting married a week before us, and it rained for them, which is gutted for them. But and it was
Out by a
so
week as well.
yeah, it was perfect for us to the
Oh.
point that on the evening, it was a perfect summer's evening, and everyone was just outside having drinks and talking and enjoying themselves. And the disco was meant to start inside the hotel at about, I don't know, 7:30, 8 o'clock, something like that. And nobody would go in, so we had to put it back till later because it was just too nice
Yeah.
outside.
Oh goodness. I see. I initially wanted not a big-ish wedding. I kind of counted how many people would go, and I've worked
Mm,
out it'd be about 60, 60 people in total.
mm,
Um, but when I would talk to Craig about it, he was just like he didn't want to talk about the wedding, and I was
mm.
like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "Oh no, it's just going to be." He's a big introvert, so he doesn't like attention. He doesn't
Yeah.
the idea of standing up in front of loads of people just freaked him out, and he just wasn't looking forward to it. And I was like, oh my goodness, like
Mm.
I don't want you to be this upset about marrying me. So
Oh,
we need to we need to change this, what we're doing. So he's the one who suggested Las Vegas, and I was like, do you know what, yeah, I will do that. And
why the
initially
hell
we were
not?
gonna
Yeah,
because it's his wedding day as well. I didn't want him to regret, like, not enjoy the best of his life, hopefully.
exactly.
And yeah, we were initially going to elope, so it was just going to be me and Craig. We're going to go there for a week, have like a
Yeah.
honeymoon, get married, and yeah, our parents weren't very happy about that. So we changed
Mm,
it to just immediate family. So I had my mum, I had a sibling there, and then Craig had a mum, dad, and sister. So and they came out after as well. So we were there for a few days first, and then they came out. So it's
mm.
quite a bit smaller than 150 people, I think.
You know, you two are
But
the only
yeah,
people who matter in this, but weddings can get so political. I think you probably found the right balance there of just extending it
yeah.
to close,
I had to,
immediate
even then,
family.
it was causing issues, and people were saying, "Oh, can I not come?" I was like, "Look, if I
Yeah.
have you, if there was like aunties and cousins, and I was
Mm.
like, if you guys come, I have to open this up to all my family, all the rest. Like, there's loads of people who'll feel left out. It's easier if we can just annoy some people and just say, I'm
Mm.
sorry, we'll cut it at immediate family, because I don't, we're trying to
Yeah.
get away from, the whole of our families coming out to Vegas. We got a video of the wedding, so we've sent everybody the video so they could see
Oh,
it.
great.
And it was only a 9-minute ceremony. It's really
Yeah.
short in Vegas. They're in and out. Like, it's like a, what's that thing where you go, the tourney thing. Anyway, you're in and then you're out, and then the next one's in, and then, it's a business, isn't it? So, yeah, I figured I'll send you the 9-minute video instead.
Oh, lovely. I'll enjoy. Yeah, that'd be lovely to see. But no, what a great idea. But no, Louise and I at the our ceremony, we were at the wedding breakfast, and you sort of greet everyone coming in,
Mm,
and then you sit down and like shaking hands and hugging people. And I'm saying, "Look, who was that?" And she's saying, "I don't have a
yeah.
clue."
Yeah, literally. There was people where there's people saying, "Oh, you need to invite this person." I was like,
Mm,
I've never met them. I don't know
yeah.
who they are. I was, oh no, you got to invite them though. Like, no, 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 no. That's it's what it's
Mhm.
£100 per person nowadays. If they can pay £100, then yeah, they could go. Do you know what I mean? So you're never gonna please everybody with what you do. So I just wanted to get rid of all
So
of that.
true. No, you did the right thing. I mean, the introvert thing that you mentioned, I mean, I mention it all the time that I'm an introvert well, an introvert who never shuts up these days. But I think that is a sign that I've changed a lot since my wedding because I was quite shy. I was happy to talk to people and get into the spirit of the day. The one thing I was really nervous about was the first dance because I just didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to be the center of attention. And Louise basically
Mm,
pushed me around the floor. And when that first dance finished, I was out of there. I feel bad about that now
yeah.
because I've lost my inhibitions a lot since those times. And my brother got married in 2011, and I was like a different person then. I don't know what changed, but you couldn't stop me. At that point, it was all over the place, bopping about.
Maybe there's less pressure because it's not your wedding, so it's
Maybe, but no, I'd get up and do karaoke these days. I love to sing, and that I don't care anymore. I think I've just less uptight than I used to be. Maybe that comes with age.
maybe. I think as well as I read an interesting blog about introvert and extrovert because there's loads of stuff online about that, and it was kind of defining the what introvert and extrovert is, and I thought it was really interesting because I got it wrong in terms of what I thought they meant.
Mm,
So the way that they described it on the blog, I say they, I forgot who it's written by. It could just be like just a random person, but they've kind of said it's extrovert is where you kind of get your energy from other people. So if you're
mm,
sat in a room on your own, that's exhausting for you. So in order to kind of get your energy, you need to be around other people to like
mm,
have your energy up. Whereas an introvert is the opposite. When you're around other people, it drains your energy. But if you're on your own, that's where you
mm,
reset and you can get your energy back up type of thing. And I was
mm,
thinking, and you can have a mixture. You can have somebody who's a bit of both. And I think you might now be a little bit of both. And
mm,
I think I'm definitely a bit of both. I think I can definitely go into social situations and be chatty and meeting new people, and yeah, that's fine. But I do like my own time where I can sit and
mm.
and recharge myself, kind of. So I think maybe is that the same for you? Do you think you're a little bit of both, or?
I think I definitely am. I mean, a good example of
Hmm.
that was a few months ago where I work. We had an offsite. All the company got together at a beautiful hotel in Gloucestershire in the UK, and it was really nice to meet everyone, my colleagues in person for the first time, who had never met before, only been with this company for about a year. Um, and I really enjoyed it. But every now and then, I just found myself sort of right. I'm going to just wander outside the grounds, just get a bit of time to myself,
Hmm.
just to get away from it. I needed that just to reset.
Yeah, definitely. I've done that at conferences and stuff before where
Mm,
yeah, because in a conference, it's a lot of stimulation. No, I don't get overly stimulated, but it is like you're talking to lots of people. Hi, how are you? And you're on. I call it on. So you're like
mm,
chatty, and you've got your thing, and you're doing your rounds with people, and you're looking out to make sure you've met everybody who you want to meet and who you need to
mm,
meet, and yada yada. So yeah, after that, it's like, whew, I need to take like a minute. I'll go outside usually and just phone Craig and just take
yeah.
10 minutes. So people probably notice me just saunter off for 10 minutes and just stand outside. And then I'll be like, okay, I'll go back in now and yeah, and carry on. So yeah, definitely do the same. And I think it's interesting. They've got the conferences who have like rooms for that. So people can just go in and chill just for like a
Mm,
minute.
yeah.
Yeah, when there's lots of chatting going on. Oh, that's good.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. Exciting stuff. But I guess we are also a tech-focused podcast, though, aren't we? So I guess
Enough
how
about marriages.
honestly, if I had my way, I would drop that from many of our chats, because the more I've done these sort of things recently, the more I'm gravitating to talking about the human side of IT, the human condition, well-being, mental health, that sort of thing. I'm very, very passionate about telling that
Mm,
story, and I'm doing a lot more on that side of things. But that's not to say tech is not still in my blood, and it's my living. But I, like many of us in the community, it's also a passion. Otherwise, I wouldn't do
mm,
all this in my spare time.
yeah,
But yeah, have you sort
exactly.
of had the chance to see anything interesting in the community and tech world since you've been back from honeymoon?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was catching up from Inspire. A few new bits there are quite interesting.
Mm,
I did a blog on some of the new features that I'm quite excited about. So check it out
mm,
if you want on collabwithcat.com.
yeah.
So there's, yeah, I feel like every week there's a new Viva product coming out.
Mm,
I feel like I was talking to um, uh, somebody in core who he went away for 2 weeks. So we work on the same team, and he was like, bloody hell, Cat, I'm not going on annual leave again. I've never heard of this new Viva thing that's come out. I've just, he's like, you go away for 2 weeks and then everything's changed and you're catching up and everything. So, yeah, I've seen Viva Engage come out, which I think it's interesting you say about the well-being, mental health and the people side of tech, because that
mm,
is how tech is moving. You can see it from Microsoft. They're, if we think about how technology was made for productivity. How much work can you get done as quickly as possible? How
yeah.
can we save time and make our employees more productive? But now that's shifting to how can we make sure our employees are engaged and happy, and they feel like they're bringing value, and it's all everything's slowing down slightly, I think, which I think is better. But it's
Mm,
hard when you're trying to communicate that message, I think, to some people who have that old IT mindset. I don't know if that makes sense. So
yes.
I don't want to say, I don't want to stereotype, but there's people who I just don't get it, and that's fair
Mm,
enough because you're in that, oh, we got our servers and our IT and our
yeah.
infrastructure, and that's what we need to, we're going to get our firewalls, and there's that kind of mindset. It's hard to go from that to look at how IT shifting towards people. So I think
Mm,
it's, although we say we just want to talk about, well-being, we do, because the technology is being built for that purpose. So yeah, some new things that I'm interested in. Viva Engage, I think, is going to be quite a fun one, because there's a whole kind of conversation of, is it Yammer, is it not Yammer, is Yammer
mm.
dead? Everybody seems to hate Yammer, and that's just you, Pete. But so many people online are yeah, just like they're sick of it. And I've used Yammer at core, at my job, for 6 years, so I
Yeah.
really like Yammer. But Viva's kind of, you know not rebranding it, but building from that. So I guess they're
Mm,
trying to maybe kick Yammer up the bum a little bit, and bring it back into, because it is a big part of employee engagement. So
yeah.
um but yeah, that's I think what's interesting for me is the more Viva stuff that's coming out. What about you? Is there anything from Inspire, any new stuff? Because you took a bit of time off as well.
I did, yeah. I mean, I took a bit of time off in sort of July, June, July, and Inspire. I don't think there was anything revolutionary came out of it from my side of things, from a security, compliance, and identity thing. I think we've seen some subtle things introduced. I think it's been more of a, much like the Viva side of things, where Viva's really a collection of things
Yeah.
brought together under an umbrella term that have been around for a long time, really. For the most part, there is some new stuff in there. And it's the same with security, compliance, and identity. Now, under the security side of things, everything's Defender. On the compliance side of things,
Entra, it's the new one.
exactly, yeah. Identity is Entra, and Purview for compliance. So, and that
Mhm.
helps a bit. It helps as somebody talking to customers about these technologies. Well, think of this as your identity is now under Entra, your compliance. But then again, there's still a bleed between those descriptions. There's always overlap. There's always things that crop up in different places. Like you say, you've got Yammer surfaced in Teams, and now it's in Viva, and it can be very, very hard for the average consumer, the end user, to make sense of that. If it's struggle enough for us sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It's very difficult. The Yammer thing. I've ironically I've been one of Yammer's critics in well for years. I've struggled to see its value, but since I've been working at CPS where I am now, it's probably the first place I've ever worked that's used it really correctly, and I can see why. If I want to know what's going on in the company from a social point of view, from something that's just not entirely business focused, I need to go there to keep up with things. And we have all sorts of stuff in there, like we've got Yammers for sports banter and music chat and stuff like that, which again ties into well-being. It's just something different for us all to talk about, and that starts conversations with your colleagues who you might not have worked with a certain person in another team, and I didn't know you loved this band, or and that
Mm.
starts a conversation you never would have had. So I'm starting to get it. I'm becoming a convert, and I don't think it matters where it sits or what it's called, whether it's Viva Engage, or
Mm.
if you find a way to use it and you use it in the platform that you gravitate to, whether that's in Teams or wherever it is, I think that's fine. I think just
Yeah.
find the ways of working that work for you.
The reason I like Yammer, I used it yesterday as an example. So there was a customer that had a really tough, like, there was like a server licensing question, and I was like, oh my
Mm,
goodness, like that's just not what I want to do on a Monday.
yeah,
And I was like, right, okay. So I was trying to find out from Microsoft, and yeah, trying to dig through his documentation, and I was like, there must be somebody in core who like knows about this stuff. We've got a whole team of people. Like, there must be
yeah,
somebody, but I didn't know who. Didn't know who. I maybe didn't even know what team they sat in. And we've had loads of new people start. So a lot of the people who I would have gone to have left. So
mm,
like, okay. So I posted the question on Yammer and said, hey guys, please help me out, and gals, please help me out. Here's the question. And I got like 3 people responding to the thread on Yammer. Answered my question. And I had somebody reach out to me on Teams saying, hey, do you want to chat about that in
yeah,
more detail? Because they replied and they just give a short reply, and I was like, oh yeah, and we worked it out, and then got an answer to the customer. So
mm.
yeah, I use Yammer for it's fun, but it's just a great way to be like, who knows about this, and it's just an open way to catch that question. I don't want to send a what company wide email. They were banned from Core a while ago, so you're not allowed to send those anymore.
Right.
So it's all done through Yammer. But no, I think that's good. When you just go back to what you were saying, I was thinking the conversation, rebranding everything to Defender, Purview, and
Mm,
Entra. And so I do workshops. I'm definitely not a security compliance expert, but I do workshops kind of the art of the possible of security and
yeah.
compliance. So let's see, what's Microsoft's vision? What are the products? What do they do? How does this help you? And that's a hard conversation to have because there's so much stuff, especially
Mm.
if you're talking about E5. So a lot of the
Oh yeah.
workshops are, this is what's in E5, basically. Customers want to know the difference. And there's so much, detail. It's really, I tried to break it out into information protection, identity, threat protection, and then and
Mm,
try and kind of break. And I guess that's what the 3 kind of rebranding things are. But within those, there's all these. Oh my goodness, it's very difficult in like a day or half a day to like get that message across. So I guess rebranding it has helped tell the story a little bit. But yeah, there's just so
mm,
much stuff. And I guess the one thing I always get from customers is, how do you keep updated with everything? And the answer is you don't. You can't. So you can't
yeah.
keep updated. And the reason why Microsoft are constantly updating stuff is because they have to, because they
Mm,
constantly have threats coming through that are advanced. So they need to update their technology and in line with the speed of hackers and the threats that are coming through. So the reason why it keeps changing is there, but that's one thing I hear from customers a lot is, my goodness, it's just too much, and it's intimidating sometimes, I think.
it is very difficult, and you do have to challenge yourself to keep up as yourself. You've got to take that
Mm.
responsibility as somebody in this industry and in this community to keep on top as best you can by looking at your peers, what they're tweeting on social media, what Microsoft are saying, watching the relevant stuff from all the conferences. But it's not easy because there's so much at conferences. At Inspire, there was just a list of security and compliance stuff. Now, well, which one do I watch live, and make sure I have time to go back to that one later. And by the time I've caught up with it, there'll be something else. But as you say, it has to change at that pace because of the threats that are out there. The bad actors are certainly not going to slow down because they can make money out of all this stuff. And compliance. I mean, on the compliance side of things, it's never been more important to have the right compliance posture, which is why Purview is making things easier to do that. And customers are coming back to Microsoft with very, very specific needs for things all the time. Well, Purview's good, but it doesn't do this yet. Can you make it do that? And Microsoft are listening to that. I was on a call with Microsoft last week with some of the compliance community folk. Erica Turley over at Microsoft, former MVPs, is in that team now, and she was showing us, along with some of the other great people in that team, a new feature in eDiscovery Premium where you can now include searches for cloud attachments, which you couldn't do previously. So that's out now, or it's in preview at the very least. I think it's not an NDA or anything. I checked that before saying it.
I was going to say we'll cut that out.
yeah. No, it's there to share. There's docs.com links for it and all that stuff. But had a little demo of that, and this is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But little things like that can make all the difference, because with an eDiscovery case, if something's missing from it, it's not complete, then what do you do? But cloud attachments, for anyone sort of listening and doesn't know what they are different from traditional attachments in the sense that in your Outlook, if you're connected to Office 365 account now, when you put an attachment on and you browse to it, it'll give the option now to either attach it in the old-fashioned way, so it's in the email. It's sort of that old using email as a file storage system, which was never a good idea at any point. But now it'll put a link to that's what it is, a link to the actual file in its original place of origin, whether that be SharePoint site or OneDrive or whatever else. And I described that horribly. But,
No, I think that's spot on. Instead of attach, save as attachment, or attach as the file, attach as a link as the option.
Yeah. Exactly. So the person opening it at the other end isn't actually downloading a fresh copy of it. So there's multiple versions of the truth all over the place. They're actually viewing it at its source, and then you can control what they can do with that. That ties into information protection and all that good stuff. But now, if those cloud attachments are out there, they can be searched in eDiscovery, which previously they couldn't. So another tick box for eDiscovery. It's getting better and better all the time. There's all sorts of stuff coming in, like multi-stage retention dispositions and all that sort of thing. There's tons of stuff which you've got to keep up with, and it's not always easy. And the customers do challenge you. Whenever I'm on workshops with customers for these sort of things, they'll always, 9 times out of 10, they'll say, well, can I do that? And I'm like, ooh, maybe, it's nearly, not quite. Let me ask Microsoft. And we usually find, and I normally find that I learn something new there, because I find a way to make something work that is a little bit out of the box thinking. Hate that phrase, but it's the only thing I can think of. I'm not a buzzword person. Do you like buzz phrases? I hate all this low hanging fruit and all that.
No, I'm not really. But that's funny, because I've mentioned this before, but there's the guy that I was talking about earlier is we work together. He gets made fun of for it because it's so extreme. And he does the, I just want to make sure we're all singing from the same hymn sheet. Like, he'll say that on a call. Take this offline. I just want to play devil's advocate here. I just want to play all the phrases you could think of. And he says them all constantly, and he just gets slagged off for it. And it's really, really because he just it's so obscure.
You need a bingo sheet. You could make it into a game, couldn't you?
Yeah, people have said that before as well. It's really, really funny because he does so much. But no, I'm not a buzzword person myself, I wouldn't say.
No. I shouldn't judge, because if you're happy using buzzwords, then fine.
Go
But
ahead.
I'd go ahead and do it. I just don't care for them myself. They sort of grate on me a bit. But I probably do find myself using them. I mean, before I had this lovely office space that I thankfully have now, I used to do calls quite often in the living room, and Louise would be just over the other side of the room on the other sofa, and she used to hate listening to me on calls. Says, "Oh my God, you were rent a cliche today." So I must be as bad as anyone for doing
Yeah, I
these sort of
guess we
things
don't
without
realize
realizing it.
it. Yeah, you don't realize it, do you? So,
Yeah,
God.
she does not miss my work calls. She really doesn't. She had to put up with them for so long.
Oh, bless, I know. And weren't you in the bathroom at one point, like
Yes,
on an ironing
I
board,
was. That's
like
right.
doing calls? And I was like, fair play,
Uh-huh.
you wouldn't notice. And you're like, yeah, I'm in my bathroom right now. I've got an iron board. I was like, really?
Oh
Oh,
yeah, the
goodness.
toilet was right behind me. I used to
Yeah,
position myself just so you couldn't see the toilet. Occasionally,
you couldn't see
yeah,
it. Oh, goodness
if you
sake.
look back on older episodes of Cloud Conversations, many of those were recorded in that bathroom on an
That's
ironing
so
board with a little
funny.
folding chair.
Oh my
Um,
God. And you
oh,
did
thank
the sound, it wasn't even echoey or anything. The sound was not too bad either. So you wouldn't have, if you didn't say, nobody would be able to tell. So that's
I know. If
true
anything,
commitment.
it's sometimes more echoey in here. I think I need to get some of
Mm,
those things you put on the wall to
yeah.
get rid of some of the echo. What I am getting, taking delivery of it, I think it's coming tomorrow or Thursday. I'm getting a lovely little relaxy chair to go in the corner. Just
Oh,
so that'll
not
be
a
quite
lazy
nice.
boy chair,
It's
is
not a
it?
lazy boy. What kind is it? If I had my way, I would have get something like that. Typical sort of. But Louise always talks me down from that. That's just going to overwhelm it, and it's just. She also says you
Mm.
got very because Louise never liked my taste. When we met, I had my own flat, and it was basically typical man pad. It was like white walls, black furniture, black leather sofa, black leather reclining, that sort of thing. And I would probably still have that sort of thing. And I wanted a chair a bit like that for in here. And she said, no, that's
Oh,
just going to be
God,
too
yeah.
big. And to be fair, she was right. She showed me a few other options. Well, that looks, yeah, we'll go for that one. So I'll once
That's,
it's in place, I just when I'm doing this or work calls, I'll sit up at my desk. But
mm.
what I found myself doing is I've been used to working in a casual way on sofas for so long that I kind of don't feel comfortable sat at a desk for too long. So if I'm not on a call, I'll quite often find myself going back in the house and just
Yeah.
sitting on the sofa and writing documents on the sofa because I'm just used to it. I don't even have a monitor yet. I'm still working off two little laptops because I've been that used to that way of working so long. I've just
Oh, God,
not
yeah.
got around to getting one. I probably will at some point, but
Oh, I couldn't. I've got my two big screens
yeah.
and then my little laptop, and I can't work. The only time I'll go down to the living room to work is if I don't need my three screens. So if I'm
Mm,
even when I'm writing documents or blogs or anything, I do like to have my three screens because I'll have like Google if I'm looking up something, and I'll have my
mm,
laptop and my type in, and then I'll have maybe music playing, or do you know what I mean? I'll need the
mm,
three because I've had it for so long,
yeah.
so I can't really live without it. So unless there's like I'm just literally going for emails or something, like that, where I don't necessarily need three screens, that's when I'll maybe migrate to down the stair where it's comfier. But yeah, no,
Mm,
I'm looking at getting a new desk. I said this a while ago. So my desk is falling apart,
mm.
and it's been falling apart. So I'm not good at building furniture. And when I
Oh
built
no.
the desk, I did it on my own, and it took me hours, and it was a horrible experience. And I did it wrong. So there's like shelves that are back to front. There's a door that I don't know how to attach it, so there's just a missing door. So I was like, right, I might get a new desk. And I was thinking of maybe getting a standing desk,
Mm,
but I didn't know because you can have ones that are sitting, and then when you feel like it, it'll pop it up, and it's meant to
yeah.
be better for your health. And I've seen people with like treadmills underneath. I'm not doing this, but they've
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
treadmills underneath, so they're doing their steps. And I was like, I couldn't concentrate. And if I'm doing a presentation, I couldn't. I don't think I could. But I don't know. I might be investing in a standing desk, but I'm having a look just to see.
Mm,
About definitely maybe do an adjustable one. But yeah, if there's any recommendations out there, please let me know, because
Yeah,
I'll see if
definitely.
it's a good idea or not.
I sometimes wish I got a standing desk because I didn't. I just got a normal desk because I do like to stand up and pace around and stuff. But what you can do, of course, you can get those little things you can put on your desk, those little steppy things,
Yeah.
and you can put your laptop on that. So I might get one of those at some point.
Yeah, because I like your desk. It's really nice. It's nice, like the big and the wood and the color and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
Yeah,
quite
it's quite nice.
minimalist, but I do like
I
it. I've
like
got
it.
plenty of space on it. Yeah,
Mm.
everything in this office shed, pretty sure came from Wayfair. They've got some great stuff.
I like Wayfair. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think this desk might have been from Wayfair, actually. When I first moved, a lot of the furniture we got was from Wayfair, which is quite nice. But yeah, standing desk will be my next thing, I
yeah.
think.
We are not sponsored by Wayfair, just to make that clear, but
Yeah, yeah.
other brands
But
are
if you do want
available.
to sponsor, now get our referral in.
Exactly. I'm exactly the same as you, though. I don't enjoy building flat pack furniture. I mean, this desk, I was starting to
Louise, do you
build.
have to do it for you? Is that she?
Louise, um, Louise and I are a horrible team putting furniture together because I'm probably the typical man in the sense that I just want to get it done as quickly as possible and not dwell on the instructions too much. Whereas Louise wants to sort out all of the nuts and bolts and tools and lay them out. Check, check, check. We've got that. We've got that. We've got that. Which is probably the diligent approach. But I just, please, let's get on with it. Get it over with. But my father-in-law and my mother-in-law
Oh
helped me build
God.
this one, and they are superb at this sort of stuff. They really are. And they're both in their early 70s now, and they've not sort of missed a beat. And
Wow.
I pretty much could have left them to it, to be honest. But they built this between them because a lot of the time, let's face it, I stood back and watched them. They've had it built in about probably less than half an hour, ready for me to do a call minutes later. So they're
Oh
amazing.
wow, that's yeah, that's amazing. I was sat with my dad hours. I was at my dad, and it was getting dark, and I was angry and upset, and yeah, it's an ordeal. Craig always builds their furniture, although he doesn't like doing it, and he's like, I don't know why you think I'm so handy. I'm not. I'm not good at this stuff. I'm like, but learn to be good at it, because I'm not doing
Learn
it.
to be
So
good.
I do everything else. Like you can put up stuff. So he puts all my mirrors up, and he does all my furniture and everything. And he hates it, and he's like, I don't know why you think I'm this handy man. And yeah, so I'm trying to condition him to be the handy man because I don't like doing it. But
No,
yeah,
I'm a disaster. When I had my flat in the early 2000s, I'm the worst person at DIY, and I tried to put a nail in the wall to hang up a clock, and I nailed right underneath a light switch, not knowing that was a thing, and all the power went off in the house.
oh
So
my God, that's so dangerous as well. Oh
I
my
know
goodness.
that's how rubbish I am. I had no idea.
Jesus.
So fortunately, we had a handyman who was a friend of the family at the time, and he came around straight away and like, "Oh,
Yeah.
hello, Peter. What have you done now?" He's called Peter as well. Actually, great guy.
Oh.
He saved our bacon a lot of times when we try to do things and should have just rang him in the first place. But
Yeah.
no, I mean everything in this office that I've got on the wall, the pictures, the MVP pictures and whatnot, they're all up with command strips, which are
I was gonna say blue tack, is it?
yeah, these little Velcro peely things, and they just stick. And
Yeah.
so good, so easy. That's the limit of my. Whereas I'm also quite lucky that my next door neighbor, lovely guy, he is literally Mr. Handyman. He's the
Ah.
sort of guy who he's just not happy if he doesn't have a drill in his hand. So,
That's not
so
good though, because then you'll never learn. You'll always have.
I don't want to.
You just surround yourself by handy people.
Yeah. Teach
That's
a
the thing.
man,
We don't
teach a
really have
person to fish.
anybody. But our dads, my dad's quite handy, and Craig's dad's quite
Mm.
handy because they're both quite old. So they're quite like. I don't know why that relates to being handy, but it just happens that they are. So, but they're quite a distance from us. So like Craig's dad's like an hour and a half away, and my dad's like 4 hours 4 hours away. So it's quite a trek if we ask them, come down, put this picture up for me, please. So yeah, and having to get Craig to learn. So see how that goes.
Wow. But Anywho, I'm getting quite conscious of time because I think we've both got things coming up in the next 10 or so minutes. But
We do. I
let's
actually have a
let's
Viva
start.
demonstration next. So
Oh,
talking about
wow.
Viva, yeah, I'll be demoing some Viva. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll
Ooh.
be awesome because yeah, you love all your Viva stuff, don't you? I've got I don't know what I've got next. Actually, I've got something. I'm really fly by the seat of my pants at the minute. Louise will ask me every day, "What have you got on this morning?" I'm like, "Don't know."
Oh no, I couldn't. Oh no, I couldn't be doing that. I'm the day before, the week before, I know exactly what's
Yeah,
in my calendar because I like prepping for all of my stuff. And if I don't prep and I don't have all my demos up and
yeah.
everything logged in
Mm,
properly, and I freak out. I just get, yeah,
yeah.
I need to have that for my security blanket of
Yeah,
it's gonna
I'm
be
not as bad
okay if
as I
we get
make out, I don't
everything.
think. I was probably a bit
No.
extreme. I know what you mean. You've got to be prepared for demos for sure. But yeah, but great to be back. Great to see you, and lots
Thanks.
more to come on Cloud Conversations. I think we'll be back with some more demos soon because they've been quite popular. We get asked a lot about when you're going to do some more demos, so we shall look to do that. Other community things this week. I'm going to be over on Twitter Spaces on Wednesday evening with Femke Corneliussen from Dutch Women in Tech. We're going to be talking about imposter syndrome, so you can find the link to that
Oh.
on my Twitter. And what else am I doing at the minute? I'm busy writing the second edition of this beast, this MS 500 Security Administration. Really not enjoying it at all, but it's got to be done. But so that's
Yeah,
that's in progress, and this. So lots of community stuff going on. I'm going to be at South Coast Summit, so there's always stuff going on, which is always good. Keeps us out of trouble.
definitely.
But
Amazing. All good. Well, it was so nice to come back on, and yeah, I feel like I haven't been on
absolutely,
in quite a little while. So yeah, it's been good to come on and chat, and yeah, hopefully get
absolutely.
some more guests on the show. And I always said I'll do a Viva something Viva demo. So I might do something around that, but yeah,
Absolutely, yeah,
we'll see what I come up
yeah. People are
with.
loving the demos, so I think we need to listen to our audience and put a bit more of that sort of content out there as well. But always looking to see how we can change and grow. But anyhow, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/c/cloud conversations. Please like and subscribe. Please subscribe. And Twitter at CloudCon365. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're not hard to find. And thank you for your support. And we'll see you down the road real soon. Take care. Bye all.